Welcome to the Weakest Link.
We are only as strong as our weakest link, and so it goes on NBC's Weakest Link, where there is a chance to win $1 million. Here this morning is the one person keeping those links together. Welcome, Jane Lynch. It's great to have you with us. You really brought this show back to life.
Well, thank you so much. And I think it was worth bringing back to life. I loved the show in the early 2000s when it was on here. I love trivia. It's my favorite thing in the world. It makes you feel really smart when you get them right and makes you feel really dumb when you don't. And I have a lot of useless information just bouncing around in my head. And it turns out there are a lot of people out there who do as well, and they're on our show. And when the clock is ticking, it's just so much fun. And sometimes it's ruthless and cutthroat, but it's a lot of good, clean fun.
But the thing is, with you, you're able to do a dig and a put down, but people love it. It makes you smile.
Now, please tell me about yourselves so I can think of something more interesting while you speak. Out of a possible $25,000, you banked an opposite of impressive $11,000. Now, please tell me something about yourselves, preferably not crime-related.
How do you do that?
Well, well, thank you so much for that. And that's the thing, it's not outwardly mean. It's in the same way that Sue Sylvester, the character I played on Glee, was, she was awful, but in a comedic way, because she was such an extreme that you just had to laugh at it. And so I think when you come from that place of just being extreme, people love it.
So you're up early this morning and you're going to be up late tonight because you've got a time change going.
That's right. We are going to the Weakest Link will now be on Monday nights. And we're starting, of course, October 19th tonight. So we're on tonight at 10 o'clock tonight.
So have you ever in your life been the weakest link?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I have metaphorically been the weakest link. I have been the weakest link in terms of not knowing the right answer. Absolutely. But I do pride myself on kind of a mental acuity that I can come up with this stuff pretty fast. And if I'm wrong fast.
So you are doing actually, I think, 2 game shows because you had Game Night and then you've got the Weakest Link. I mean, what about your acting duties? Are you going to go back to that at some point?
What about that? Well, I'm definitely going to do the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and that is a joy. So I just love doing that, and that's hopefully going back in the beginning of the new year. So fingers crossed that everybody stays healthy and we get a hold of this pandemic.
So what have you been doing during the pandemic to keep busy, to keep sharp, to keep your life going?
Yeah, the first couple of months were just being at home, and we didn't really know what this thing was, and we were all so very careful, and we're still very careful, but it's ingrained now. I kind of enjoyed the being at home all the time and having to impose kind of a structure on my day in order to stay sane. So I did the same things every day. I'm a person of habit. I love doing things over and over again the exact same way, which is why I love to do a game show, I guess. And so I just kind of relished in that. And then I got to go back to work, and I was very happy to do this. We did the Weakest Link in early September, and we shot them. And it was really great to get back to work. I know the crew was really happy to be back. I know the contestants were really glad to have something to do. So it was a real joy.
And so what's the one thing you learned about yourself that you didn't know going through all of this?
I think how important routine is for me, and habit, and having a structure around my day. I just have that kind of a nature where I need to feel like I'm in control, and that things aren't just going to spin out of control. So imposing order on my day, and the whole idea of the mask and sanitizing your hands and everything, I kind of relished that routine, because it gave me something to do other than just spin out into an existential spiral.
I know that you're making a big push also for people to get out and vote this year.
Yes. That's right. This is a very, we say every election is important. This election is very important. And it is important that we figure out how we're going to vote, because the circumstances that we have right now with the pandemic and being in close proximity of each other in closed places is not the greatest thing in the world. So mailing in your ballot and doing it early, making sure it gets there on time, it's important. Like we say on NBC, plan your vote.
Oh, well, how apropos. Well, you
My
are a
favorite coffee
joy.
cup, too.
You are a joy and you make us smile. So thank
Joe.
you so much for being with us. We are going to be watching you tonight because you make us laugh and smile.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Now, if you didn't get all that, you might be the weakest link. Goodbye.